Hello students, in this video class I am going to discuss differentiation. Basically differentiation is the process of finding derivative of a function, and I am going to discuss derivatives and methods of differentiation in this class. In previous classes we already learnt about limits and continuity, and limits, continuity, this differentiation, everything helps us to analyze the nature of the function at different points. And let us start today's topic, differentiation. Let us start differentiation. As I said, differentiation is the process of finding derivative of a function. And what is the derivative of a function? Derivative of a function represents change in the functional values f of x with respect to change in the inputs x. If the change in x is very small, we treat it as derivative. Once again, derivative of f of x is rate of change in the functional values f of x with respect to x for very small change in x. That in the sense we need to compare change in the functional values f of x with respect to change in the inputs x, and that ratio we need to identify for very small change in x, and that is considered as derivative of f of x, right. For suppose if I change x to x plus delta x, there is a change in the inputs of the function from x to x plus delta x. At x the functional value is f of x, and x plus delta x the functional value is f of x plus delta x. Here what is delta x? Delta x is the difference between these two values. X is my initial value. If I change that x by delta x, x plus delta x is my final value. At x, f of x is the functional value. At x plus delta x, f of x plus delta x is the functional value. We need to calculate change in the functional values. That means difference between these two, f of x plus delta x minus f of x divided by the change in the inputs x values, difference between these two, x plus delta x and x is delta x. So f of x plus delta x minus f of x by delta x represents rate of change in f of x with respect to x, and we need to calculate this ratio as the change in x is very small. For that we are including limit delta x tends to 0. That in the sense if the difference between initial and final values is very small, then in that case if you calculate this value, that represents derivative of the given function at a particular point. Derivative helps us to identify the change in the functional values for very small change in the x values. So finally derivative of the function is denoted by either dy by dx or df of x by dx or y dash or f dash of x. All these are different notations for the derivative. As per the situation and as per the problem and as per our comfort, we use any one of these, either dy by dx, df of x by dx or y dash or f dash of x as derivative of f of x with respect to x. That means comparing the change in f of x with the comparison of x in a very small region, and that is defined as a formula. F dash of x is given like this: limit delta x tends to 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x divided by delta x. Here to calculate the derivative we are getting the help of limits as well. Already we discussed in limits. To calculate the limits we used derivatives. Derivatives and limits are actually interlinked, and these two together helps us to analyze the nature of the function. And here in particular, as our topic is differentiation and derivatives, so derivative of f of x with respect to x is f dash of x and is defined as limit delta x tends to 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x by delta x, and this particular limit value is the derivative and it represents the derivative of the function in general. And for suppose in particular, if you wish to identify the derivative of a function at a point a, so derivative of f of x at x is equals to a, To calculate the derivative of f of x x is equals to a, we generally represent that f dash of x x is equals to a. What it means? Derivative of f of x x is equals to a, which is simply nothing but for very small change in x from a to a plus delta x, from a to a plus h, and the change in functional values to the a value. So, limit h tends to 0, f of a plus h minus f of a by h as h tending to 0 gives us the derivative of the function at x is equals to a. In generally, we will derive different formulas related to derivatives. That in the sense we are going to calculate derivatives for all standard functions in general. So, in general means that derivative will represent for every point, okay. For suppose I think you all know the formula for the derivatives. If d by dx of x square is 2x, then the derivative of x square is 2x in general. At x is equals to 2, the derivative is 2 into 2. At x is equals to 3, the derivative is 2 into 3. So, first of all we will find derivative formulas, that means derivatives for all standard functions using this particular formula. First of all, observe the definition and I am going to find out the formulas for all standard functions. So, now I am going to discuss derivatives for standard functions. I will discuss one or two formulae here and then I will list out all the formulae through slide. Just have a look. See, the derivative of f of x, f dash of x is equals to d by dx of f of x, which is limit delta x tends to 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x by delta x. Using this particular limit formula of derivative, we will derive formulae for all standard functions. And now I am going with the function f of x is equals to e power x. So, what is the derivative of this function, which is d f of x with respect to x is equals to limit delta x tends to 0, f of x plus delta x. Our f of x is e power x, then what is f of x plus delta x? Replacing x with x plus delta x, then that is nothing but e power x plus delta x minus f of x. And what is f of x? And sure it is e power x divided by delta x. So, if you calculate this limit, that represents the general derivative for the function e power x, and that is equals to limit delta x tends to 0. This is e power x plus delta x minus e power x. We have a chance to rewrite this e power x plus delta x as e power x into e power delta x. You just separate that e power x. You left with e power delta x minus 1 divided by delta x. And now here the limit is over delta x. As delta x and tending to 0, we need to calculate this. This e power x is independent of delta x. So, just separate it. So, this is equals to e power x into limit delta x tends to 0, e power delta x minus 1 divided by delta x. And we have a standard limit, that limit x tends to 0, e power x minus 1 by x is 1, and so this limit value is 1, e power x into 1, and our answer is e power x again. So, finally, derivative of e power x is e power x. So, we generate it like this, d by dx of e power x is equals to e power x. So, like this we will find derivative formula for all standard functions, and this way of finding derivatives is usually mentioned as first principles method of finding derivatives for a given function. Let us look here and I will discuss one more problem. And now try to find derivative for sin x using same formula. So, we are going to calculate derivative for f of x with respect to x, and by that first principles method our derivative formula is limit delta x tends to 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x divided by delta x, and that is equals to limit delta x tends to 0. What is f of x plus delta x? Here f of x is sin x and f of x plus delta x is simply nothing but sin of x plus delta x minus f of x is what? Sin x, and the whole thing is divided by delta x. I need to calculate this particular limit value. For that, look at the numerator, sin of x plus delta x minus sin x. So, use sin c minus sin d formula. This is equals to limit delta x tends to 0, sin c minus sin d is what? 2 cos of c plus d by 2 into sin of c minus d by 2. So, this is 2 cos of c plus d, that means sum of these two quantities, x plus delta x plus x by 2. So, 2x by 2 is x plus delta x by 2 into sin of difference of these two quantities, x plus delta x minus x is delta x and divided by 2, and the whole thing is divided by delta x. We need to calculate this value now. So, you just rearrange this. This is equals to limit delta x tends to 0 cos of x plus delta x by 2 into sin of delta x by 2, and the whole thing is divided by delta x by 2. Since delta x is tending to 0, delta x by 2 is also tends to 0. So, this sin delta x by 2 divided by delta x by 2 tends to 1, and that value is 1. Here if you replace delta x as 0, you will get that cos x into 1, which is cos x, and finally we conclude that d by dx of sin x is equals to cos x. So, for every standard function, there is a chance to find its derivative using this particular first principles method. Just look at the slide which shows you derivatives of all different standard functions. We will find out the derivative formulas of all these functions using first principles method, and we are just listing here. Look there, the first one is a constant c. Since derivative is simply change in the functional values with respect to x, for a constant function no change occurs, so its derivative is 0. Whereas for x the derivative is 1, and for x power n the derivative is n into x power n minus 1. And for e power x the derivative is e power x, just we find it on the board. And for a power x the derivative is a power x into log a to the base e. And for the log x to the base e the derivative is 1 by x. Whereas for modulus of x the derivative is mod x by x, and we will discuss about this mod x in the next video. And coming to the log of mod x, the derivative is 1 by x. And for sin x the derivative is cos x. For cos x the derivative is minus sin x, and for tan x the derivative is secant square x. For cot x and the derivative is minus cosecant square x. Now look at the next slide. Derivative of secant x is secant x into tan x. Derivative of cosecant x is minus cosecant x into cot x. Derivative of sin inverse x is 1 by root 1 minus x square. For cos inverse x, minus 1 by root 1 minus x square. For tan inverse x, 1 by 1 plus x square. For cot inverse x, minus 1 by 1 plus x square. Secant inverse x, 1 by mod x root of x square minus 1. For cosecant inverse x, minus 1 by mod x root of x square minus 1. And for x power x, the derivative is x power x into 1 plus log x to the base e. We will discuss this x power x in logarithmic differentiation again. You just go through all these formulae, try to memorize all these things to solve problems very easily. From slide, we learnt derivatives for different standard functions. All these formulae are very helpful in solving many problems. Okay. So, for suppose, what is the derivative of x power n? D by dx of x power n is n into x power n minus 1, which is included in the slide. Using this, we will calculate derivatives for different functions. For suppose d by dx of x, which is nothing but x power 1, right? So, replace n with 1, so 1 into x power 1 minus 1, and the calculation is 1. Whereas d by dx of x square is what? Which is replacing n with 2, and on simplification you get it as 2x. I think you all know it. D by dx of x cube is 3x square. Likewise, we will calculate derivatives for x square, x cube, x power 4 and everything. And the next thing is finding derivative for 1 by x. What is the derivative for 1 by x? D by dx of 1 by x. Just use this particular standard derivative to calculate that derivative of 1 by x. This is equals to d by dx of x to the power minus 1. And by this formula, minus 1 into x power minus 1 minus 1. And if you simplify, this is minus 1 by x square. So d by dx of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square. Whereas d by dx of 1 by x square, if you calculate, you will get it as minus 2 by x cube. In the same way, we have a chance to calculate derivatives for 1 by x cube, 1 by x power 4 and everything. And the next thing is d by dx of root x. What is the derivative of root x? See, root x is what? X power 1 by 2. Then by the same standard derivative, its answer is 1 by 2 into x power 1 by 2 minus 1. And in the power of x, I have 1 by 2 minus 1. This 1 by 2 minus 1 is minus 1 by 2. So x to the power minus 1 by 2 is 1 by root x, and on simplification our answer is 1 by 2 root x. And this standard derivative is included in our slide, and with the help of that standard derivative we have a chance to find out derivatives of all these things. And by memorizing d by dx of 1 by x, d by dx of 1 by x square, d by dx of root x simplifies many of our tasks in solving different problems. And another thing is, what is the derivative of log x to the base e? Derivative of log x to the base e is 1 by x, just I mentioned you in the slide. Whereas if you wish to find d by dx of log x to the base a, how to calculate? If that base is e, your answer is 1 by x. Whereas if the base is a, then we need to rewrite this log x base a. So d by dx of logarithm of x to the base e into logarithm of e to the base a we need to write. And this logarithm of e to the base a is a constant. Keep it out by the algebra of derivatives, which I am going to discuss, into d by dx of log x to the base e. And finally, the answer for this is logarithm of e to the base a into 1 by x is the derivative for this log x to the base a. So, you just try to memorize the formula for the standard functions and then use them to calculate derivatives for different functions. And the next thing is algebra of derivatives. See, we are familiar with the algebra of functions. With the help of algebra of functions, we generated algebra of limits, and now with the help of algebra of limits, easily we will establish this algebra of derivatives. You just look here, d by dx of some k into f of x if you have, since k is independent of x, keep it out, so k into d by dx f of x. So this is constant multiplication of the derivative. And the next thing is for the sum of any two functions, d by dx of a into f of x plus or minus b into g of x. Easily we will distribute the d by dx for everything. So a into d by dx of f of x plus or minus b into d by dx of g of x. And the next thing is bit different, and derivative for the product of two functions. Usually we call it as product rule. D by dx of f of x into g of x. First function f of x into derivative of the second function g of x plus second function g of x into derivative of the first function. Once again I am repeating, if you are trying to calculate the derivative for the product of two functions, first function into the derivative of second function plus second function into the derivative of first function. And the next thing is d by dx of f of x by g of x. Quotient rule, some numerator by denominator, and its answer is g of x into the derivative of f of x minus f of x into the derivative of g of x divided by g of x square. And simply I will mention it like this: denominator into d by dx of numerator minus numerator into d by dx of denominator, and the whole thing is divided by denominator whole square, is useful to calculate the derivative of these type of quotient functions. You already in your regular program, all these standard derivatives and this algebra of derivatives, everything is already completed, right? And that's why just we are reviewing and recollecting all those things to solve different problems. Along with these algebra of derivatives, the next idea we need to know to solve the problems is chain rule. What it means? Derivatives for the composition of functions. Just I am mentioning here, for suppose if you wish to calculate d by dx of g circle f of x, how to calculate it? We will establish it by the properties of functions and the limits, d by dx of g of f of x. And I will rewrite it like this: d by dx of g of f of x is simply nothing but derivative of g with f of x. So g dash of f of x into derivative of this inner function f of x into d by dx of f of x is answer for that d by dx of g circle f of x. Calculating derivatives for these type of composite functions comes under chain rule, and now I am going to discuss chain rule. Look at the board. I am going to calculate derivatives for these functions, which helps you to understand the algebra of derivatives. The first function is the sum of two functions x square and sin x, and calculating its derivative is simply nothing but d by dx of x square plus d by dx of sin x. Just we distribute that d by dx for these two functions separately, and that d by dx of x square is nothing but 2x, whereas the derivative of sin x is simply nothing but cos x. So derivative for that x square plus sin x is 2x plus cos x. And the next thing is calculating derivative for this x square into sin x. As I mentioned, x square into sin x, product of two functions, and we need to use product rule, and for this problem d by dx of x square into sin x we need to calculate. As I said, first function into derivative of second function plus second function into derivative of first function. So x square into d by dx of sin x plus sin x into d by dx of x square. And now this is equals to x square into derivative of sin x is cos x plus sin x into derivative of x square is 2x, and this is the derivative for this product x square into sin x. We have a chance to extend this product rule for more than two functions also, right? Okay. And the next thing is derivative for this what? Quotient rule, x square by sin x. So I need to calculate the derivative of this ratio or this quotient x square by sin x. What is our numerator by denominator rule to calculate the derivative? Denominator sin x into derivative of numerator, so d by dx of x square, minus, we need to use minus numerator x square into derivative of denominator, so d by dx of sin x, and the whole thing is divided by the square of the denominator, so sin x square. Try to simplify it. This is equals to sin x into derivative of x square is 2x minus x square into derivative of sin x is x, and the whole thing is divided by sin square x. Just observe all these functions, x square plus sin x square into sin x square by sin x, and this is sin of x square. If you have two basic functions x square and sin x, you can add those two, you can multiply, you may divide, and you may compose it. And what is the derivative for this sin of x square? Now here the chain rule arises. D by dx of sin of x square. X square is a function which is included as an input for this sin. So sin of x square. So what chain rule says is, first of all you need to write the derivative for this sin. D by dx of sin of x square we need to calculate. For that sin, the derivative is cos of this x square into derivative of x square is 2x. Like this we will calculate derivatives for the composite functions. Once again just have a look how to calculate the derivative for the sum, product, division as well for the composition. And then I will discuss some more simple problems related to the chain rule, and then I will go with different methods of differentiation. Have a look. Look at the board. Now this time I am completely concentrating on chain rule. Okay. So what is the d by dx of sin x? This is very clear, cos x. And by chain rule all for the derivative for the composite functions, what is the derivative for this sin of f of x? If derivative for sin x with respect to x, the derivative is cos x. Here we are calculating derivative of sin x with respect to x, but here we are calculating derivative of sin of f of x with respect to x. With respect to x we are calculating, but the input here it is f of x, so directly the answer cos f of x is not enough. So we need to write cos f of x into derivative of that input f of x, which is f dash of x, or you may say d by dx of f of x. In the same way, what is the d by dx of sin of log x to the base e? For this sin the input is log x to the base e, but we are calculating derivative with respect to x. So in that case, first of all write the derivative of sin of something is cos of something. So cos of log x to the base e into derivative of this log x, which is 1 by x from the standard derivatives. And the next thing is d by dx sine of x square minus 5x. Again here for the sine, my input is x square minus 5x, but we are calculating derivative only with respect to x. In that case, the concept of chain rule arises. First of all, write the derivative for sine. Sine of something is simply cos of something into derivative of that something, which is what? X square is 2x and for 5x it is 5. And the next thing, what is the d by dx of e power f of x? The same logic. Here the input is f of x and we are calculating with respect to x. So our answer is e power f of x into derivative of f of x, which is f dash of x. And the next thing, root f of x. What is the d by dx of root f of x? Here root is the function and the input is f of x, but we are calculating derivative with respect to x. So d by dx of root f of x. So what is the standard derivative for root x? For root x, the standard derivative is what? 1 by 2 root x. So here for root f of x, the answer is 2 root f of x into derivative of this input f of x, which is f dash of x. Likewise, based on standard derivatives, we will answer different questions if it is a combination of different functions. I will give you one more problem. You just have a look. For suppose if you wish to answer derivative for sine of e power root of x square minus 4. What is the derivative for this function? If you observe, different functions are involved here. X square minus 4 is algebraic, square root is involved, e power is involved, sine is involved. While calculating derivative, you need to apply the chain rule. First thing is sine, and this total e power root x square minus 4 works like an input for this sine. So while calculating derivative, first of all write the derivative for cos. So cos of e power root of x square minus 4 into, and now what is the derivative for this input? The input is e power something, right? For e power something, the derivative is again e power something. So e power root of x square minus 4. Okay. And again here it is e power something, right? Again write the derivative for something. Here it is root of x square minus 4. What is the derivative for root? For root, the derivative is 1 by 2 root. So for root of x square minus 4, answer is 1 by 2 root of x square minus 4. Here x square minus 4 is an input. And again we need to write the derivative for that input x square minus 4, which is 2x. Have a look. Here totally if you analyze, 4 different functions are involved: algebraic, square root, exponential and trigonometric. So we need to write first derivative for this sign as cos of the other, and again the derivative for this input, e power something, again the derivative for that root, 1 by 2 root, again the derivative for this x square minus 4, which is 2x. Likewise, we need to calculate derivatives for composite functions, and writing derivative in such a manner is usually considered as chain rule. Try to practice some more problems related to chain rule from your regular program books. Okay? Look at the board, and I have 2 problems here related to the parametric differentiation. As I said, differentiation is the process of finding derivatives, and this particular chapter differentiation mentions different procedures, and we call them as methods of differentiation. Different methods of differentiation to find the derivatives or to solve problems related to the derivatives of different functions. And the next method of differentiation, here it is, parametric differentiation. So I think you may learn about parametric functions in functions chapter. Parametric functions in the sense, usually a function means a relation between y and x directly. Whereas coming to the parametric functions, x and y are not directly connected, they may connect with some other parameter like theta. Okay, I have 2 problems here, and this is x is equals to a cos cube theta and y is equals to a sin cube theta, and that y and x are connected with respect to theta, and my target is to find dy by dx, right? So here I need to calculate dy by dx, but these problems are in terms of theta, these y and x. So dy by dx is equals to, I will rewrite it like this, dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. We have a chance to write it like this because d theta is simply nothing but change in theta. So dy by dx is dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. So first of all, just calculate derivative of x with respect to theta, derivative of y with respect to theta, and then replace there. Okay, now what is dy by d theta? Dy by d theta is nothing but d by d theta of a sine cube theta. Here a is a constant, write it out, and then what is the derivative for this sine cube theta? To write the derivative for sine cube theta, you need to think about x cube. What is x cube? Which is 3x square. So derivative of x cube is 3x square. It represents that derivative of something cube is 3 into something square into derivative of that something. And here sine cube theta, so 3 into sine square theta into derivative of sine theta is cos theta. And finally dy by d theta is this one. And next thing is dx by d theta. Dx by d theta is derivative of this a cos cube theta. So write a out into derivative of cos cube theta. Same logic, something cube, so 3 into something square, 3 into cos square theta into derivative of cos theta. What is the derivative of cos theta? Which is minus sine theta. And finally dy by d theta is this 3a sine square theta cos theta, dx by d theta is 3a cos square theta into sine theta. Our intention is to find dy by dx, which is dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. So this is equals to the numerator dy by d theta is 3a sine square theta into cos theta divided by what is the denominator? Minus 3a cos square theta into sine theta. So just cancel out this 3a, 1 sine theta and 1 cos theta, you left with minus tan theta. At the end, if y and x are a sine cube theta and a cos cube theta, derivative of y with respect to x is minus tan theta, and this is the way of calculating the derivative for these type of parametric functions. And then I have one more problem. Here again that x and y are connected with respect to theta. X is secant theta minus cos theta, y is secant power n theta minus cos power n theta, and I need to show it. Dy by dx whole square is equals to n square times of y square plus 4 by x square plus 4. Just have a look and I am going to solve it. Again here x and y are mentioned in terms of theta, and I need to calculate dy by dx whole square. So first of all calculate dy by dx. As I said, what is dy by dx? For this type of parametric definitions, dy by dx is equals to dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. Find the derivative of y with respect to theta and find derivative of x with respect to theta, divide them to mention dy by dx. Okay. First thing is what? X is equals to secant theta minus cos theta. What is dx by d theta? Directly I am writing. Dx by d theta means derivative of secant theta minus derivative of cos theta. What is the derivative of secant theta? Which is secant theta into tan theta, minus what is the derivative of cos theta? For cos theta the derivative is minus sin theta, so this is minus sin theta. And on simplification you may write it as sin theta by cos theta. By cos theta is again secant square theta, right? So if you pick out sin theta as a common thing, here you will get that secant square theta plus 1. Dx by d theta is tan sin theta into secant square theta plus 1. And the next thing is dy by d theta. So dy by d theta, secant power n theta minus cos power n theta. Derivative of secant power n theta is what? X power n is n into x to the power n minus 1. Something to the power n is n into that something to the power n minus 1. For this secant power n theta, n into secant power n minus 1 theta into derivative of secant theta, which is secant theta into tan theta minus cos power n theta, n into cos power n minus 1 theta into derivative of cos theta is minus sin theta. You just have a look, right? This is equals to n into secant power n theta into tan theta plus n into cos power n minus 1 theta into sin theta. I just do one thing. I multiply here with cos theta and then I divide with cos theta. Then in turn it becomes what? Cos power n theta into tan theta it will become. Since I multiplied with cos, it become cos power n theta. Since I divided with cos, I will get here it is tan theta. So finally, there is a common quantity here. What it is? N tan theta. N tan theta into secant power n theta plus cos power n theta. Not only from this dy by d theta, again just look at this dx by d theta. I will rewrite it like this. This is secant theta into tan theta plus sin theta, right? You just pick out tan theta as a common quantity. Here you left with secant theta plus sin theta, right? Already we pick it out, what? Tan theta. That means we need to divide with cos theta, multiply with cos theta. This sin theta by cos theta is tan theta out, so plus cos theta. And finally this is dx by d theta and this is dy by d theta, and I need to calculate dy by dx. dy by dx is the ratio between these two. If you divide one with the other, tan theta will get cancelled. And finally dy by dx is equals to, tan theta gets cancelled, n times of this, n into secant power n theta plus cos power n theta divided by secant theta plus cos theta. This is dy by dx. But our target is to show dy by dx whole square is equals to n square into y square plus 4 by x square plus 4. Since this is dy by dx, you just do squaring on both sides and then try to convert the right side part as y square plus 4 and x square plus 4. So since it is dy by dx, now you just square it. Dy by dx whole square is equals to, we need to square the right side part, n square into, and that secant power n theta plus cos power n theta whole square divided by secant theta plus cos theta whole square. Okay. Now I need to show it like n square times of y square plus 4 divided by x square plus 4. Look here, what is y and what is x. First of all, think about x for some time. Secant theta minus cos theta is x. Secant theta plus cos theta whole square is here. We know that a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is equals to 4. I mentioned for you here a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square is equals to 4, right? From there, a plus b whole square is equals to 4 plus of a minus b whole square. With the same logic, this secant theta plus cos theta whole square is 4 plus of secant theta minus cos theta whole square, which is x. We need to apply same logic for numerator again. With that simple logic, this is directly n square into, the numerator is y square plus 4 whereas the denominator is x square plus 4, and hence the proof is clear. So look at the problem. This is related to parametric differentiation because x and y are mentioned in terms of theta, and we need to show dy by dx whole square is equals to n square into y square plus 4 by x square plus 4. For that, to find dy by dx whole square, first of all calculate dx by d theta, then calculate dy by d theta, and then you need to rewrite those two values so that to involve this secant power n theta plus cos power n theta and secant theta plus cos theta. If you divide, tan theta gets cancelled, and this is your answer. Square it on both sides because we need dy by dx whole square. At the end, there is a chance to write denominator as well numerator 4 plus x square and 4 plus y square with a simple identity relation. And finally, that problem is clear. Have a look. And the next method of differentiation is implicit differentiation. Finding derivatives for implicit functions. Finding dy by dx if y and x are implicitly related. Implicitly related in the sense both occur together. Okay. If y is equals to some function in terms of x or x is equal to some function in terms of y are considered as explicit functions, whereas if both occurs together we treat them as implicit functions, and if the relation between x and y is mentioned in such a case, we need to find dy by dx. Look at the problem, 2x square minus 3xy plus y square plus x plus 2y minus 8 is equals to 0 is the relation between x and y, and we need to calculate dy by dx. Making y as subject and then finding different derivative is bit lengthy process. Directly you just apply derivative with respect to x. So apply derivative with respect to x for everything. So this is equals to d by dx of 2x square minus 3xy plus y square plus x plus 2y minus 8 is equals to d by dx of 0. And now by the algebra of derivatives, you just apply d by dx for each and every term. D by dx of 2x square, 2 into derivative of x square is 2x minus 3 into x into y. Here both x and y are variables and they occur together, right? So x into y, product of two functions. X is the first function, y is the second function. X into derivative of y, which is dy by dx, plus y into derivative of x. Derivative of x with respect to x is 1 plus y square. And for y square, what is the derivative? For x square it is 2x. For y square it is 2y. But y is not x directly, right? So you need to write 2y into dy by dx. Plus derivative of x with respect to x is 1. And then for 2y. So plus 2 is a constant. For y, the derivative of x is dy by dx. And for 8, since it is constant, its derivative is 0. For 0, the derivative is 0. So this is the thing. And our target is to find dy by dx. So you just collect the terms having dy by dx and collect the terms not having dy by dx. So finally this is equals to 2 into 2x is what? 4x minus 3x into dy by dx and then minus 3y. So 4x minus 3y, coming to here 1 is a term without dy by dx. Now coming to dy by dx plus dy by dx into here minus 3x into dy by dx. So minus 3x plus 2y into dy by dx plus 2y plus 2 into dy by dx plus 2 is equals to 0. Now I need dy by dx, right? Send this term that side and divide with the other one. So your answer finally it is minus of 4x minus 3y plus 1 divided by this one. What it is? Minus 3x plus 2y plus 2. So that is dy by dx finally for this function. So finding derivative for these type of functions in this manner is considered as implicit differentiation. I have another problem here where x and y are again connected like this and we need to find dy by dx. Look at the problem, try to solve it. Now the problem is this: y is equals to root of x plus, root of y plus, root of x plus and so on. Like that it is continued and we need to find what? Dy by dx. Once if you look, see root x plus root of y plus, again root x is started, right? If you look at all these things, again it is y. Y is equals to root of x plus root of y plus and so on for infinite number of times. You just neglect first two terms, again all the remaining terms looks like y. So y is equals to root of x plus root of y plus, rewrite all this as again y, right? So our target is to find dy by dx now. So y square is equals to x plus root 2y. If you square it on both sides and then send x this side and again square, y square minus x whole square is equals to 2y. Now apply d by dx on both sides to get dy by dx. So d by dx of y square minus x whole square is equals to d by dx of 2y. Now this side, derivative for this y square minus x whole square with respect to x, something square. For something square the derivative is 2 into something and derivative of something. So this is 2 into y square minus x into d by dx of y square minus x. Is it clear? D by dx of something square. 2 into something into derivative of something. That is equals to d by dx of 2y. 2 is a constant, separate it and dy by dx. Now here 2 into y square minus x into what is d by dx of y square? For x square 2x, for y square 2y into derivative of y with respect to x, right? 2y into dy by dx minus derivative of x with respect to x is 1, that is equals to 2 into dy by dx. Look at both sides, cancel out 2 and then try to make dy by dx as a subject, since our intention is to find dy by dx. Multiply these two. 2y into y square is 2y cube, 2y into x minus 2xy into dy by dx. Send the dy by dx this side, it will become minus 1 into dy by dx. And now this y square minus x into minus 1. So minus of y square minus x. Send right side, it will become y square minus x. So what is dy by dx at the end? At the end dy by dx is simply nothing but that right side part y square minus x divided by this whole thing, which is 2y cube minus 2xy minus 1. So for this problem dy by dx is y square minus x by 2y cube minus 2xy minus 1. Look at the problem. Finally, that's for today's class. In this class what we learnt? We learnt about the basic definition of derivatives and then first principles method and derivative formulas for different standard functions as a slide. Along with that, algebra of derivatives, product rule, quotient rule and chain rule, different problems related to chain rule, everything we learnt. As I said, differentiation is the process of finding derivatives. And this chapter includes different procedures, different methods of differentiation to find derivatives. Among those, sum rule, product rule, chain rule is one way, and the other thing is parametric differentiation, implicit differentiation, logarithmic differentiation, and then higher order derivatives, everything is involved. Substitution problems, everything are involved in this chapter. In today's class, we completed parametric differentiation and implicit differentiation. I will start next class with logarithmic differentiation. You just revise all the formulas of standard functions and then try to solve different problems. And that's for the class. Thank you.